And welcome to Hannity. And tonight we are covering multiple developing stories. In just a moment, we'll check in with LJ Lawrence Jones, who was at the University of Houston, where he asked college students what they thought about Elon Musk and his plan to restore free speech at Twitter. Also, we have tonight exclusive Project Veritas undercover video of Twitter employees in a complete meltdown mode. Plus, we're going to bring you an important update on Biden's new Ministry of Disinformation. In other words, a truth ministry. Now, by the way, apparently, future NBC host and current unethical press secretary Jen Psaki has no idea who the administration actually tapped to run this program. She also doesn't seem to know why anyone would be opposed to the Department of Homeland Security regulating free speech. How does that keep us safe and secure at home? Anyway, take a look.
What I can tell you is that it sounds like the objective of the board is to prevent disinformation and misinformation from traveling around the country in a range of communities. I'm not sure who opposes that effort, and I don't know who this individual is, so I have no comment on it specifically.
Her name is Nina Jankowicz. She also just recently made some polarizing comments about the Elon Musk's Twitter purchase. It's just getting some pushback from critics who are saying this person may not be the right choice for a board that is run by the Department of Homeland Security. Can you speak to that at all?
I don't have any information about this individual. I can check on more information about the board.
We'll circle back on that. Apparently, Jen Psaki doesn't know a thing about Nina Jankowicz or Biden's new Disinformation Governance Board. Now, Jen Psaki is reportedly too busy negotiating her contract with NBC and preparing for her new role with the network. She'll fit in perfectly. All they do is peddle lies and conspiracy theories nonstop, kind of like fake news CNN. But according to Jen Psaki, the Biden administration would never lie to you, so why wouldn't they be in charge of policing disinformation? And why would anyone be opposed to that? Now, forget Biden's outright lie about his involvement in Hunter's foreign international business schemes, or his lies about inflation being transitory, or the lies about blaming Putin for higher gas prices when they were higher long before Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine, or his lies surrounding gun companies falsely claiming that they can't be sued, or his lies about record job creation and a great economy, or his lies about inheriting a broken border, or the lie about mass migration being seasonal, or the lie about Border Patrol officials whipping migrants. That never happened. We had a full investigation that proved that. Now, of course, the Disinformation Governance Board will not be policing any of that disinformation. I'm sure they're not going to go back and figure out why they lied about Russia collusion that with Trump that never happened. I'm sure they'll never go back and look at the lies they themselves have been involved in. I don't think they'll fact check themselves either. Instead, the real threat, according to the White House, is disinformation from all of the dangerous keyboard warriors, a lot of them in the basement in their underwear on Twitter, that'll now be able to tweet whatever the heck they want thanks to Elon Musk. Oh, freedom of speech, what a concept. Now, the disinformation czar, this gets interesting. Nina Jankowicz told NPR that she shudders to think about free speech absolutists taking over social media platforms. Now, as a new member of the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, she's going to do what she can to restore order. But get this, in 2020, when Donald Trump was president, she said the executive branch had no business policing information. She actually called it anti-democratic. Take a look.
Imagine that, with President Trump right now calling all of these news organizations that have inconvenient for him stories that they're getting out there, that he's calling fake news and now lashing out at platforms. I would never want to see our executive branch have that sort of power. I think we're seeing cooperation ramp up on a number of levels. So I will be completely honest and say that my program at the Wilson Center is partially funded by Facebook.
Note her admission at the end of that little speech. Now, her prior job at the Wilson Center was funded in part by Zuckerberg's Facebook. And in 2020, Zuckerberg, we know, spent hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to help turn out Democratic voters. And apparently, some of Zuckerberg's funds also helped Nina Jankowicz battle disinformation like this. Take a look.
Information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared that intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain, they're laundering disinfo, and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote.
So we're supposed to trust that purveyor of misinformation, and that's going to be the person that polices our thoughts? Now, Jankowicz is obviously a far-left radical Democrat who believes her opinions are facts and your opinions are disinformation. Now, that's why she spread total BS about the Hunter Biden laptop and praised Hillary Clinton's dirty misinformation dossier author, Christopher Steele. By the way, that whole thing was debunked. And guess what? None of it was true. I guess she believed the story about hookers in Moscow and the Ritz-Carlton. All untrue. Ultimately, the bigger scandal here is not Jankowicz and her far-left politics. It's the existence in a free country of a government disinformation board. Our government does not get to decide what opinions are permissible. And that is simply not the American way. I don't know. I would think maybe somebody over there read the First Amendment, read the Constitution. It's up to we, the people, to fact-check the government, not the other way around. Now, government has always been and will always be the biggest offender of misinformation and disinformation. And of course, for the past few years, big tech has played a massive role. Twitter has been arbitrarily banning conservatives, throttling accounts. Of course, we have shadow banning, blocking negative stories about Democrats. They've been protecting Democrats for years. But now Elon Musk, he's taken it over, and he's really just promising freedom of speech. And we have Twitter's liberal board. They're in a total freak-out, meltdown mode. They're all worried that all their important moderation will soon come to an end, and their platform will be scary and dangerous and a place filled with opinions that they can't take and they disagree with. Now, James O'Keefe, Project Veritas, obtained audio from an internal call among Twitter employees. I got to be honest, this is priceless. As always, you decide.
Elon made it clear in public that a large part of the reason he bought the platform was because of our moderation policies and disagreements in how we deal with health. This puts Twitter service and trust and safety, as well as anybody who cares about health on the platform, in a very difficult position.
Twitter service, the role of our policies, and the capabilities we've built around content moderation are fundamental to keeping Twitter safe and growing. I believe that there is a lot of work we have to do to continue making that better.
Now, we contacted Twitter, but they declined to comment. But is anyone surprised? Now, for years under Donald Trump, big tech, the mob, the media, the Democratic Party, they all worked in conjunction together. Their goal, moderate the speech of their political opponents and silence them whenever possible. And now they're losing grip, and they're hoping for a lifeline from America's brand new disinformation czar who spreads disinformation herself. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.